just makes me want to speak about this even more. And not because I want to talk crap or any of that kind of stuff. It's just life is really hard to just keep it all in and not share it. And to be honest, yes, this is my second divorce. Yes, I'm 25 years old, and I know that's embarrassing. Like, that sounds embarrassing. Like, oh, you must be the problem. Oh my
It
God.
sounds embarrassing. I don't think not because you are only 25. I think it sounds embarrassing because you are not paying attention and you're probably not learning from the first mistake. I am the kind of person that agrees with getting married early. 25 will probably be the starting point for me to start the first marriage in itself, or maybe start a serious committed relationship around 25. So 25, being married and divorced twice, I don't know how long, but I'm guessing you got married around 22, which was probably too early for me. I'm with the mid 20s going on late 20s. That's where I'm usually at. And that's because I think from the mid 20s going on late 20s, you will have your life not perfect, but a few things will be in place. Few things will be in place for you around that time, and you will also be matured enough in here to know what you want and what you're looking for in life. Things might change along the way, but the basics, the morals, the characteristics and things that you are looking for, you can find it, and you can find those traits in who you want. That is why I think that time is perfect time. So 25, I think is too early for two, meaning you started too early. I don't know how long this relationship took, but my guess is you probably started around 20, 21, 22-ish to be married twice by 25. But let's keep going.
You must be the problem. Oh my gosh, 25 and your second divorce? Yes. I am going through another divorce, and I am going to speak about it. I'm not going to share the reasons specifically why, because yes, the person does deserve privacy. But all I can say is that this is a very difficult time for me. This has been my lowest point ever. And I will never stay, even if I love a man. My kids will always come first, no matter what. I don't care. I don't care if we're married. And
few minutes in, and I think that could be one of the problems. That could be one of the problems. What she just said. The kids will always come first. In marriages and relationships, you two came before the kids. And I think, in my opinion, most of the time, once you start putting the kids above your partner, above your spouse, things starts to go sideways, because then you start to tolerate them. You get to the point where you don't feel like you want this person no more. You're just tolerating them just because of the kids, because now you've shifted the person that is your priority from your spouse to the kids. But think about it, before the kids, this person was your priority. So what changed? How did they all of a sudden move to the kids? And I'm not saying she's the bad one. It could be the men are the bad ones. But my issue with that is sometimes you always have to own a little bit of accountability. And that accountability is you picking the wrong person the first time and picking the wrong person the second time. Now I'm looking at you two. Now I'm not just saying they were bad people. Why are you continuously picking these bad people? So you are not doing something right. You are doing something wrong. And that is the accountability in that for you. So I'm not going to put the blame on the man, because there's always three sides to the story. I'm not going to put the blame on the man. But at the same time, I'm not saying that she's completely innocent. You need to own up to a certain extent that you are picking the wrong people. Even if they are the bad people, you are picking them. So something is off about you picking them.
That decision that I made, it was really hard. It was like the hardest decision I had to make in my entire life. But I know that I made the right choice, because Jojo deserves the best. Isaiah deserves the best. And I will continue to do that.
So when she says they deserve the best, I'm thinking the two names are the kids' names. That is what I'm thinking. And if it's just the kids' names and you are saying they deserve the best, kids deserve the best from their parents, because at the moment, the parents is whom they look up to, whom they depend on and all that, right? So if it is not you being the problem, then you are pointing the finger and saying they deserve the best father. That is what I'm taking from this at the moment, that they deserve the best father. Now, my guess is, was the father abusive to the kids? Or what exactly is the father doing that is not the best for the kids? Are the fathers not present? Are the fathers not taking care of the kids? What exactly is happening that makes the fathers not the best for the kids? Because you were saying they deserve the best. And I'm guessing you are not referring to yourself, if you get what I mean. So what exactly is going on, which she wouldn't say, because she says they deserve privacy too. She wouldn't say what exactly, but will go around it and point a finger at them, indirectly saying the kids deserve the best. It's not me. So who is it then? The fathers. They are doing something wrong.
Always. Now, it's not easy being a single mom again. And I say again because the first time I married, it backfired really fast, a week after to be exact, because cheaters will be cheaters, you know? And unfortunately, or actually, I would say thankfully, I got pregnant and I have my JoJo now. The only problem is that just because you get married, it doesn't mean everything will be solved for you or everything's going to go great. Things don't always turn out the way you plan them to. And yeah, I got pregnant and I've been carrying the weight by myself with JoJo for the past, he's going to be 4. Although in my second marriage, I did receive help for JoJo. I'm happy I have JoJo in my life because
I'm guessing there was no kid in the first one. That's what I'm guessing, because I heard it backfired really quick, a week to be exact. So I'm guessing there was no baby in that first one, and that marriage was short. But the second marriage, she says she had a baby, and the baby is almost 4. So I'm guessing the second marriage was around when she was like 21. When she was like 21, like I said, it's probably between 20 and 22 is when she probably started getting married. So the first one might not really count as much if you were married for a week, unless I misunderstood what she meant. But the second marriage, going for 4 years and saying you were hanging on for 4 years, since when did you figure out something was off? That is some of the things that sometimes ladies need to own up to. When did you figure out something was off? Because the moment you figure out that something is off, you don't need to stay in there. You need to leave. But now, what did you not learn from the first one that made you pick somebody else that was a little bit off the second time? Because sometimes if we keep pointing the fingers, I remember listening to an interview where the lady said, that is not how we wanted it in life. That is a Ghanaian lady. That is not how we wanted it in life. If it was for us, we would have all my kids to one father, and instead of having 2 or 3 fathers, which I completely understand. I'm not going to dispute that. Certain things happen and individual basis, or we have like exceptions to this rule where you go into it and it's like, okay, the first father, let's say, brought me from Ghana and was abusive. I had to let go. Kind of understandable. You were in a time where you needed him, not necessarily want him, but you needed him. And he took advantage of that. Maybe you were young too. We'll understand to some extent. But if you do it the second time, it's like you didn't learn anything from the first one. And I think that is what is happening here. There are exceptions to the rule. However, when we advise people not to take accountability for themselves, that is where the problem begins. So the child being 4, when exactly did you figure out something was off? And why did you not leave? Why did you stay to have the baby with him and then hang on for 4 years and now saying JoJo deserves the best? How did you not leave? That is where sometimes the accountability comes in. The moment you see something was off, you're not supposed to proceed with the marriage to begin with. And you're not supposed to have babies for the person to begin with. Because when things are off, most of the time, you know ahead of time, or you see some signs, and you're supposed to advise yourself and exit real quick.
Have to go through this alone, but I am sad that I couldn't give JoJo a father figure. I am sad about it. I am. Now, Isaiah has a great father figure, and I'm so happy for that, but it's still unfortunate that I...
So I misunderstood something then. If one of them has a great father figure and the other doesn't, I'm guessing there are two fathers. So maybe they divorced a week after actual marriage, but they had a baby already. That's what my guess is. One has a great father figure, the other one doesn't. So the second one is the one that has a bad father. And the first one looks like she divorced because the man cheated. I don't know what the situation was with that cheating part, so I won't speak to it.
Give both my children what they deserved. And there won't be a third. There won't be a third try. You know how they say, third time's the charm. No, I ain't doing that anymore. And I'm going to struggle for who knows how long until they're older and they're able to, be independent. But for now, I still have to continue to work very hard, and I still have to continue to be in this state co-parenting, because that's where my second child was born and that's where his father is. And I have to stay here and I'm stuck regardless of my circumstances. And I have to constantly be trying to find new babysitters because they all quit. They all quit after like 2 weeks because I can't afford that much. So I'm constantly with fear that I might get fired at my job, because this past month I've been late twice because my babysitters are so unreliable and they just quit. And this is going to be my life for who knows how many years until my kids go into school. I don't know, but they're still very young. So that's still going to continue for a long time. And not just that, but I don't have my family here. Like, I miss my mom. I miss all of them. And they're in a different country. Like, there's nothing I can do about it because I'm co-parenting and I have to stay here. But I also can't have the support of my soon-to-be ex-husband, because if we want to do it the correct way and co-parent the right way, I have to keep to myself and I have to do things on my own. And I can't ask his family for help because that's his family. And the minute I decide to divorce him, which I'm in the process of doing right now, I can't receive help from his family. And it's unfortunate for me because
So, no, you cannot, but yes, you can. And that is what I mean by that. You cannot go directly to the child's father family and ask them to help you with babysitting and all that, or even if it's finance. You can go to the child's father to help. Since you are co-parenting, you can go to the child's father. Now, if the child's father does not have the time to do it, he is then supposed to go to his family and ask his family to help. Because now your ties are not with the family, your ties are with him. So you go to him and ask for help with the babysitting within that co-parenting agreement that you guys will have. And if he is unable to because he got work or whatever, he goes to his family to ask for that help and then bring the help to you. Meaning he is providing you the help by using the family. But you can just get up and go to the family. Right now, especially in the divorce, you and the family ties are gone. They don't owe you anything, just like you don't owe them anything. So yes, you can. And I understand the good thing about her is she's able to read the room and understand her situation, which is good, because most of the time, if you understand your situation and you are not really delusional about it, it's easy for you to find solution to it. It's easy to figure out ways to maneuver around it. So she understanding the situation is good.
because I'm the loneliest I've ever been. I'm at the lowest financially too. My car is I don't think my car will make it another winter here. It needs tires, it needs brakes, it needs a lot of things. And it's just a constant stress of thinking, shoot, are we going to make it this month? Like, and then on top of that, like, just feeling all the weight. Anyways, this page is only about positivity. And the reason why I speak like a lot of positive stuff is because I've heard this saying that if you speak positive thoughts, you will feel positive. So that's why I speak positive things all the time, not because I feel good right now or because I just try to trick my brain into thinking everything's okay when honestly, like, I'm not doing that okay. Every day I feel worried, I feel stressed, and I know that there's bigger problems, like at least we're all alive and we're healthy, but it really is hard being a single mom again. But I know that at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it. And my kids will know that I chose them. And one day they're going to realize how hard I worked for them.
It would depend on what exactly the reason for the divorce is. I understand that she says, I'm choosing a case, which I said is wrong to begin with, because in the marriage, you're supposed to choose your partner first, your spouse first, before you choose the kids. Once you start choosing the kids, you are now tolerating the person that you are with. And it goes both ways. Like if the man starts to choose the kids, you are tolerating your wife. You're not necessarily wanting her. But saying that the kids will grow to know that I chose them and I put them first, we don't know the whole story. So we don't know exactly what the guy is doing that is making you divorce. The only thing is, I hope it's not one of these recent videos that we've been seeing on social media where the man is good. He does everything right. There's nothing wrong. He's just not perfect for me. Or he's just not perfect for the kids in her situation. He's just not perfect for the kids. Why? Maybe because he's never around, he works too much or whatever. And let me speak to that for a minute. Most of the time, you can have two things at a time. If you have a man that is always working and working and working because he's providing, let's say, majority of the financial burdens at home, 80-90% or even 70% depending on how much the burden is, and he has to put in a lot of work, chances are you won't have the time that you want him to have for the kids. If you want him to have those time to spend with the kids and be all that you want him to be with the kids, some of these financial burdens will have to go. So you can have both. The situation is sometimes often like we hear on social media all the time. Well, he's good. He's just not good enough because he's not doing this or he's not being there. He can't be there. He needs to work and work and work to fulfill the financial burdens that you guys have. There are situations to this, and sometimes, ladies especially, sometimes you need to pay attention to this instead of just jumping onto the next. And that's why we get a situation where a lady would just cheat on the husband with a dude that is always testing, and then will make the excuse that he doesn't have time for me. That's being the husband, doesn't have time for me. He's always working. He's never here. But this person does. Yeah, guess what? This person does not have the financial burdens your husband has to provide for the house. This person is alone, probably living in a small apartment and doesn't have to work a lot or anything like that. So he has enough time on his hand. If he doesn't have the time at home, it's probably because he has a lot of burdens. And most of the time, if you leave your husband for this person, the moment you jump into this person's life and he now has to provide financially for his home with you, it repeats itself. So you might keep jumping from one to the next. You see where the problem is, where the cycle keeps going? But in her case, she's not really saying what the problem is. She's not really telling what the man did. All that we know is that he's not being a good father to the kid. That's about it. She's not saying anything else. And that makes it a little bit hard to kind of deduce for me who is exactly breaking this marriage apart. I mean, she's probably requesting for the divorce. We just don't know why. So I can judge her that it's her fault to stay in the relationship. I don't really know what is happening.
And I also hope that they know how much I love them. So for that person who commented on my other post saying, like, oh, you left your second marriage because you were bored. That's not why I left.
Okay.
It's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I was just so bored that I left, and now I'm in this situation, and I keep choosing the situation just because I don't want to be bored. Trust me. I am still grateful at the end of the day for what I have, and I'm still grateful that to know that there's still a few people in my life who care about me, and I will continue to use this platform to vent because at the end of the day, it's mainly just strangers. It's a safe space, right? We can just vent and no one really cares. I mean, except for the haters who come here and like talk crap to me, but whatever. Um, I don't have to stay silent about all this. This is my journey and I will speak on it. And my married days are over. I don't have to stay silent anymore. If there's some truth that I want to share and it's my journey, I'm going to share it. And it is what it is. So if any of this makes you uncomfortable, then just exit out my page. Don't look at my stuff. That's how I feel today, and hopefully tomorrow's a better day.
I see why somebody would jump in a previous video. I don't know what the previous video was about, and say you are just leaving the marriage because you are bored. Because we've repeatedly been seeing ladies say, he's good, he's done everything. I'm just not being loved enough. What does that even mean? And I think that is why nowadays, when you say something like this, it could be there is a real problem going on. But because you are not saying it, people will assume that maybe you are just bored and you are exiting the relationship and making the excuse that something is off, because we repeatedly see this. But I think it's because she's not saying it. I hope that she would say what the problem really was in the relationship without really pointing. Well, you can say it without pointing a finger, but she already pointed a finger previously, saying the kids are not getting the best dad. Well, the second kid is not getting the best dad. But to her credit, it seems like she knows the situation. She understands the stress she will go through, which makes me think that if she understands how bad this is going to be as a single mother, if she understands how bad her job, her car and everything is going to be, and her family not being in the same country with her, that maybe whatever situation she's living, she needs to live for her own sanity or for her own safety, or for whatever reason that is, because you understand the situation. Most people, when they say I'm bored and I'm leaving and all that, is because they don't understand the situation and what is going to be after that. And that's why there was a video of a lady, which if I find it, I'll probably post it there for you guys to watch. Is she left her marriage, turned around and became the side chick of the ex-husband, because she didn't understand the situation very well. Not like her, where she understands exactly what is going to happen once this is over. You can't get help from the family. Your family is not here. You are on your own. You might lose your job. You can't get babysitters. She understands the whole situation perfectly, making me think maybe there is a genuine, real reason why she's hesitant. And I'll give her that, even though she's not really saying it. I hope she would. But hey, thank you for watching another episode again. I appreciate you. If this is not your first time, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. Peace out.